Hi, Doc Martin for KRAZ TV with another great book to review, Outlive. The Science and Art of Longevity by Peter Attia, MD, with Bill Giffords. He says in this book he couldn't have written it without Bill Gifford. So he was he pushed him to keep going and going and going. This guy's brave though. Peter Attia he's had a lot of struggles he talked about, but after reading this book, he overcame a lot, and so I got to do it. But it's a rethinking medicine to live better, longer. It is a book from who's the publisher? Oh, Harmony Press. Well, there's the picture of Peter Attia. Is the founder of Early Medical. He received his medical degree from Stanford University of Medicine, trained at Johns Hopkins in general surgery. He also trained at the NIH as surgical oncology fellow at the National Cancer Institute, where his research focused on immune-based therapies for melanoma. He serves on the editorial board for the journal Aging and is the host of the popular podcast The Drive. He's at AttiaMD.com and earlymedical.com. Bill Gifford is a veteran journalist. Let me turn this camera just a wee bit. There you go. And author of the New York Times best-selling Spring Chicken, Stay Young Forever, or Die Trying. His work has appeared in Outside, Scientific American, Men's Health, and other publications. This book is a real help. It's an eye on the future. It can really help you. It really helped me in a lot of ways. Live longer and live better. In his mid-30s, prominent longevity expert Dr. Peter Attia was a marathon swimmer, crossing ocean passages like the Catalina Channel. But as he discovered, he was surprisingly unhealthy on the path to early death from heart disease. This knowledge launched him on a quest to understand longevity, how and why we die, how we can delay or even prevent the chronic diseases that kill most people, including heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's disease, and type 2 diabetes. He calls these the horsemen, the four horsemen of death, In this groundbreaking manifesto for living better longer, Dr. Attia explains how this journey led him to rethink his approach to health care. For all of its successes, mainstream medicine has failed to make much progress against these age-related diseases. Too often it intervenes with treatments too late to help, prolonging lifespan at the expense of health span or quality of life. Dr. Attia believes we must replace this outdated framework with a personalized, proactive strategy for longevity, one where we take action now rather than waiting. This is not biohacking. It is a strategic and science-based approach to extending lifespan while also improving our physical, cognitive, and emotional health. Dr. Attia's aim is less to tell you what to do and more to help you learn how to think about long-term health in order to create the best plan for you as an individual. And Outlive, the readers will discover why your blood work and cholesterol tests result at your annual physical may be normal, but you might still be unhealthy because average is not the same as optimal. Why exercise is the best potent pro-longevity drug and how to begin training for the centenarian decathlon. Why you should forget about diets and focus instead on nutritional biochemistry using technology and data to personalize your eating habits. Why striving for physical health and longevity but ignoring emotional health can be the ultimate curse of all. Lifespan and health span are far more malleable than we think. You can plot a different path for your life, one that lets you outlive your expectations to make each decade better than the one before. How true is that? There are four major, what we just mentioned there, the heart disease, uh, type 2 Alzheimer's, cancer, and heart disease, type 2 Alzheimer's, and cancer. And actually, they're all related. You might think that they're so far from one another, but they are. The biggest thing that he gets out of this is, 1, exercise. 2, sleep. Make sure you sleep. And when you go to sleep, don't worry about having, they said shut the lights out, turn the alarm away from you so you're not like, oh, what time is it now? Do I got to get, crazy thing. Try to get 8 hours. 10 is not going to hurt you. If you need a nap in the afternoon, take it. It just really helps your heart and everything. And bionutritional, eating right and learning about glucose monitoring and all of that. And then the last one, one of the most important, is emotional health. Find out that a lot of things aren't worth bothering about. You get over stuff. He used to be very combative and stuff. I mean, he sought more mental health than he did professional health than he did in physical health. I mean, he could figure out some of it, but he had a lot of mentors and a lot of people helped him, and a lot of people got on board with his idea of expanding your lifespan, and that's called health span. Lifespan is how long you're going to live, and we're all going to just live until the inevitable. However, health span is how did you feel and how did it go during those times. They said a lot of people, once you hit 60, it starts to go downhill quickly. So whatever you do, always, he says, push yourself past it. And then when you have to relax or can't do that, you're kind of back at the point of normal instead of being normal and declining down. So it's like when you're in the ring training and the timer's on for 3 minutes, the guy that's helping you train will set it for 4 minutes and not tell you, and you think, wow, that's a long 3 minutes, I'm done. But in the end, when 3 minutes is happening, then later it's like whiz by and say, that was easy. And then you wonder, well, what's going on? So overtraining in a way, but not enough to do it. Anyway, the mental health is very important. What he does talk about in here is he was exploring Alzheimer's disease, and the plaques and the things in your brain come from amyloid beta, and there's genes, and they're something, and then it's E1, E2, E3, and E4s. If you have E4, you have a propensity towards Alzheimer's. If you have E4 or double E4, you have a much higher risk. But he said they've even examined people that are 100 years old that have had it. So it's really attitude and all of that too. But what is causing the plaques is that these genes, instead of breaking a protein, so when it replicates in half, it breaks it in thirds. So the two halves go back to where they try to be normal again, but there's a dangling third. And that third unfolds at one of the break points, and it unfolds and becomes the slimy amyloid beta, see? And that's what really does it. But it's a lot about genes. But he said, if you ever really examined the 100-year-old people, they're in so much better shape, even though they're 20, 30, 3 decades older than most people. Everybody's died, And he said he's interviewed a lot, and a lot of people, he asked the 100-year-olds, what's their secret? And they said, well, I had a glass of whiskey and a cigar every day. Or somebody did something every day that it was like, wow, you did that and you're still alive. So it really is a mindset and knowing ahead of time. And how you can measure it is your grip. If you have a strong grip, then you have a good chance. So test your grip, and if it goes down, then you But you also incrementally have to build up slowly back up, but it can be done. And getting started at 20 and 30 years old and knowing all of these things is really a lot better than trying to figure it out at 60 and stay stable or regain, like myself, to meet those health span years. That's the secret, folks. Health span, not lifespan. You know, I could go on and on. I can't believe I've sat here 10 minutes and talked about what a great book this is. But it's really a plan for your life. This is one I loved, and it really helped me out. It put me on a new attitude about thinking every day. And breathe. Breathe. Think about breathing. Get that oxygen in. Now, something off of this, and they don't talk about it, well, he doesn't talk about it at all in this book, is hyperbaric chambers. But hyperbaric gets past the blood barrier and puts that oxygen in the brain. So, as a scuba diver, I know about this. And I tell you, I try to breathe in, well, I have a nitrox. It means I can have a higher oxygen. But when I breathe, I went down into a swimming pool one time and sat there for 45 minutes breathing pure oxygen at 15 feet. And I tell you, it was the feeling that I got out of there for the next day or two was nothing like ever in my life that I felt. It was so superior to I mean, you were like jumping out of yourself. You were so alive. It was just fantastic. Of course, going with hyperbaric, you cannot have high pressures, and you can't breathe oxygen over 1 atmosphere because you will die. I mean, there's oxygen toxicity, oxygen poisoning, so these are science clues. So keep that to professionals and do hyperbaric, and they're very expensive, and a lot of people don't want to recommend them and all of that. But I think, on top of all of this, that oxygen at an elevated hyperbaric chamber would really help also. But that's just my rant. But get the book, Dr. Peter Attia. I think he's Egyptian, or what, his family came from Egypt. And he's done the math, he's done the suffering for us, and he's really turned his life around. And I think this book would help you do it yourself. So look up and Outlive, the Science and Art of Longevity by Peter Attia, MD. It's rethinking medicine to live better, longer. Thanks for watching KRZ TV. Goodbye.